So David, 2-2 draw today away at Kidsgrove Athletic. Instead of asking you how you feel about the game today, were you a little bit disappointed maybe with the way the opposition set themselves up today? It was quite a tough game in that respect.
Opposition can set themselves up however they want. They played to their strengths. I'd watched a few highlights and seen a few bits of them, and I said they'd be back to front quickly. Some quality at the top end of the pitch. Kingsley, Will Saxon, both decent players. Aaron Bott, who came off the bench, decent players. So they'd be keen to get the ball into them early. But they just wanted to spoil and scrap. And what I was disappointed about more was our reaction to it. Because we were starting the game really well. We moved the ball quickly. We created a few chances. We should have probably capitalised on that a bit more. Well, the game then became a bit of a war of attrition and a bit of a scrap. And that suited them. And rather than us sticking to our principles, we sort of got drawn into that. For probably the middle hour, it was only the last 15 minutes or so we actually started playing again and got our rewards with a goal.
Do you feel like the first 20 minutes we were pretty much untouchable, and we probably should have been more than 1-0 at that
We moved the ball
point?
really well. I mean, Umar had a great chance. Then he took his goal really well, and then he had another one that he took well that was ruled offside, which Andy was in line with and said was absolutely no way. So I thought we were really good. We stopped doing it. We stopped doing the things that had caused success, the quick passing, the 1 and 2 touch, moving the ball across the pitch and opening up gaps to exploit. I think we then went back to front too quickly, and that allowed them to come and head things, kick things, and it became really scrappy in the middle of the park.
You brought on Andy Keogh, and not long after, probably like you said, last 20 minutes, we sort of came back into the game and got a very good equaliser.
Yeah, and Andy didn't start the game because he's struggling still with his hamstring from last weekend, and we need to manage that. It meant that we could shift Umar out wide. It's not his natural position. But Andy then gave us a bit of a different focal point from Umar, somebody who could receive it a bit into feet and he was winning his flick-ons. But if you look at the goal, we probably played 8 or 9 passes from right back into the channel, back out, and Mason had drifted in, and it was a great finish. But it was that movement and that passing that we talk about. We've got to realise that we're good when we do that, and we're less good when we get drawn into scrap and we want to go direct. So we've got to stick to our principles. And we nearly nicked it at the end. We rode our luck a bit with a free kick, bouncing around the box from them, but then we nearly nicked it at the end. Another good passing move that Umar was a bit unlucky with.
A couple of good saves again from Tom Watson today.
Yeah, Tom did well. There was one blow down that he kind of pushed out. I thought was a good save. One where Josh had been caught in possession and he stood up well. So he did everything that was asked of him today. I thought he came crosses when they were put under his bar as well. I thought he did well punching them and dealing with them. So a good steady performance.
We move on to Radcliffe in the middle of the week this week, Tuesday, and we look like we picked up another couple of injuries today. How difficult is it going to be midweek?
As we've talked about before, we're trying to bring some bodies in, we're trying to bring some players in. I'm reluctant to just bring anybody in. I really do want to make sure they're the right players and they answer the quality and they're the right characters for the dressing room. But we are now starting to get down to the bare bones, and we've got people missing with work as well on Tuesday, which makes it even more difficult. So it will be a real case of assessing where we're at, and a game like today doesn't help. I don't really want to talk about the officials. I don't think officials had a huge bearing on the result of the game, but I do think he allowed it to get a bit silly. And I said to him at the end, he'll get somebody injured, and I think we were lucky with a couple of things that went on in there that they weren't. So it doesn't help when you're short on bodies and you have a game like today. You're going to pick up knocks and niggles because the game's been allowed to be played in that manner. So we'll just have to see where we are. It might mean a bit of squad rotation. We might see a couple of lads who've been on the fringes involved in the 16. We might see a couple of new faces, just depending where things are up to. But we'll get a decent side out, and it's a bit of a free hit. And I actually like that phrase, but it is. Radcliffe doing well in the league above. We want to do well in the league. If we can have a cup run, it's brilliant. If we don't, it's no disgrace.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, Nathan.